All right, everybody, we're back.
All right, we're back, baby. So we're back for segment number 3, American Fan Podcast.
Hell yeah.
Now this is a fun little, we always do the third segment is usually, not always, but usually a little potpourri of like what happened over the last week. Usually it involves, a little bit of the notion of my dating life, like what happened over the last week or so. Was there anything entertaining? Nick had a lot happen over the last couple of weeks. Obviously, you went on vacay. You explained that a little bit in the first segment, but maybe there's something else in the last couple of weeks that you want to touch on, like that was interesting. If you want me to lead off, I did have a very disheartening and very... it was a lot to overcome. It involves one of the last shows when Morgan was on in your place.
Yeah.
And talking about the medical stuff that we went through. And I got involved in a research study on testicles. You remember this? In episode 5, where they calibrated, I love that word, they calibrated my nuts. It was a study on virility. For all kidding aside, it was a serious study. They selected 20 people in terms of trying to improve like erectile dysfunction, sperm production, trying to draw conclusions about like the virility of men. Part of that study, I partook, one, because I got invited to the study through my doctor, which was kind of cool. I mean, they could have given that to anybody. And there was $500 a month potential for earning, which was going to be great. I thought it was 6 months. It was $500 a month for 3 months. But, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, I tell you a week and a half, almost 2 weeks later, that I am no longer part of that research study. I got kicked out.
Kicked out?
And here's the reason why. So they did the initial where they have to measure you and calibrate, and that was embarrassing and hilarious at the same time. 3 women, 6 eyeballs on my package. I had to take my pants off in front of people that I knew, and they're measuring my...
That you knew?
Oh, I knew all 3 people. I knew because I go to that urology office so often. It's like every 4 months I'm there, and I stop in the research department. I make friends. That's what I try to do. Like wherever I go.
Yeah, friends that are the only friends that are allowed to see your junk.
Well, now they all know what my wiener looks like. It's okay, I'm sure. Well, 2 of them are married.
I did not anticipate this segment.
2 of them are married. The other one's not, but she's not interested in me. I mean, after what she saw, it was very cold in there.
She was like, where is it?
There's a little element of what we call constriction. There is an episode of Seinfeld where they talk about when you get out of the pool, it's cold, a little bit of a scared turtle syndrome. I still
have to watch that show.
I wasn't hanging like I usually am, but that's beside the point. I digress. Let's get back to the subject, why I got kicked out of the study, and in a polite way. I mean, they felt bad. For part of that study, you had to go masturbate, and you had to give sperm samples twice a month.
You're right.
So I was 6 times. I was mistaken. I thought it was going to be a dozen times because it was for 6 months. It was actually, the study's only for 3 months. What is it? August, September, October. Get down to the nitty gritty. They have the appointment. It was 2 Mondays ago. I go into the office, they give you a cup, and I hate to tell the audience because I'm sure I have some female fans out there.
Yep.
I couldn't produce a sample. Man, I couldn't. It was like the environment.
That's why you were...
It was so sterile. It was just uninviting. I even brought in some porn. I couldn't do it. And then I went home just to make sure everything's okay, and I could do it here at home. So, but I couldn't take it home and bring back the sample. You had to do it at the facility. So I came back the second week, this past Monday, same thing. I'm always transparent with my friends, family, and especially the audience. You guys know everything about me. So I went in the second time. I did a little pregame. I watched some porn. I listened to porn in the shower before I left. I go to the office. I'm all pumped up. I didn't even wear underwear. I just wore jeans with no underwear. I was like, they're definitely getting a sample. Got in that room, that sterile, cold environment, and I couldn't produce a sample. I even turned the porn up. I had no sound the first time. I turned it up. I was watching my favorite porn actress. Couldn't do it. Couldn't produce a sample.
Dude,
Came home, same thing. Came home, wanted to make sure everything was okay. I unloaded on my toilet. Everything was great. So I just wanted to tell the audience that I'm no longer, I know they're dying to hear this, that I'm no longer part of that research study on men's virility, and I'm obsolete. I got rejected because I couldn't produce a sample. And then today is Friday, ladies and gentlemen. These will be posted by Sunday, our regular cadence again. They sent me for my efforts for massaging my ball sack and calibrating them with a vice and everything. I got $100 gift card distributed to my PayPal account. That's all I got for all of that drama. So driving back and forth to a sperm clinic, driving back and forth to the research study.
Dude, I am sounding so boring compared. You have the most outrageous stories possible.
I do.
Meanwhile, there's me, whose most interesting stories are.
Well, that's what we need this for.
Like,
we need balance, especially me. I need balance in my life. I laid on my floor when I got home, and I just looked at the ceiling for like 20 minutes, and I was like, how did I not produce a sample? Then I got up, like Rocky 2, I put on a little Eye of the Tiger. I put on some porn. I took all my clothes off, stark naked.
Why are you telling us your routine?
I got out the baby oil and I produced.
Oh my God.
I had to make sure that I'm okay. I had to make sure, and I am. For the ladies out there, I'm just fine, all right?
If this channel gets demonetized, you guys know why.
I did get my testosterone results back because they took a blood sample.
Tell us, Fletch.
My test is over 900, so I'm like, how am I not able? I guess I need to be romanced in the ambiance of a room. I just can't do it anywhere. You need to romance me a little bit. That's what it taught me. It's okay. I mean, I can say that out loud. I just can't do it in the back seat of a car. So I need to be romanced a little bit. I need a little flower petals, maybe some like diffuser with a little bit of lavender. I got romantic in my old age. So I just figured they would want to know that I'm not in the study any longer. And I took 8 minutes to tell my story. So boom. Hit me with what happened to you. Please balance out the segment, because that it's ridiculous. That's what it is. So
I don't really have. Before Florida, I think I had some crazy stuff happen, but
it doesn't have to be crazy. It could just be good or something interesting. Mine happened to be crazy because it was just so obnoxious and it was so. It just was nuts. I never thought in a million years I would ever cross that bridge, but I did.
Well, I can tell you what's going to happen, and because it's related to you, and actually a conversation we had, I think 3 episodes ago, I want to say. I think it was the 3rd episode. And that was when we talked about our favorite movies and lines of all time and stuff.
Yeah.
I was planning at some point to watch a movie by myself before either I see my girlfriend during the weekend or before I get my son for my week to start with him, to watch a movie. But Morgan actually expressed interest to watch the same thing, and I'm really surprised. And that's actually going to be your favorite movie of all time, which is Braveheart. I am finally, guys, yes, I know, I'm a sheltered child. There are movies I haven't watched that I probably should have watched about 15 years ago.
Everybody will say that. Yeah, you're fine.
But I am going to finally watch Braveheart, and I'm very much looking forward to it because I didn't realize that type of story. You can look at something like Saving Private Ryan, even though it's not a true story, the event was real. Just if I was to say, I think the characters are just not real. I think it was very Hollywoody, but we can still say that something like that is a great movie, regardless. But I didn't realize the impact that Braveheart had, like the story behind Braveheart, which is
William Wallace.
William Wallace. I didn't realize
Yeah.
that shaped the history of Scotland. Like
Absolutely.
Scotland, how it is
He
today.
is such an important, prominent figure in Scottish history. Yeah, for sure.
So like I wouldn't have thought that, but I'm always up for learning more. Now I do want to ask. So you say like don't you own like the real guy's or the great grandson's book or something? Like don't you own the book or something based on that?
I've read the book. I don't own the book. That unfortunately was taken from me in a past relationship. I mean, I don't need to mention it. I mean, there's an evil human being that lives out in Mentor, Ohio. She does nails, and she stole a lot of stuff from me, including throwing out my photo albums with my Nanu, my grandfather. But we don't have to talk about that.
That's crazy.
Through therapy, Dr. Finkelstein, shout out. I have overcome that. I don't hold any animosity. I wouldn't run her over with my car. With my truck, yes, but not my car. Would I spit in her face? No, that's tacky. Would I spit on her? Yes. So, but yeah, evil human being. But yes, I did own the book. All kidding aside, Wallace is just a huge presence in Scottish history.
Well,
He's fascinating character. If you just want to research and read about William Wallace, like what he did. He wouldn't have did anything, but he was motivated by the murder of his wife, who he married in secret. He did it on purpose because he did not want to participate in the English law. It's a great parallel, and we can go down a rabbit hole, and we can talk about this for hours, but to the Israel-Palestine thing.
Think so?
England basically just occupied Scotland for hundreds of years and treated them like slaves, like they were inferior, and they practiced this prima nocta, like however you pronounce it, but I know how it's spelled, on the Scottish women, where the nobles, the English lords and royalty, got sexual rights to the women, the Scottish women, on the first night of their wedding. So if you married in Scotland, which was under English rule, you would marry, and then instead of going with your brand new husband, that first night, they had to go up to the castle, so to speak, to the English lords, and have sex with the lord before the husband could sleep with his wife. That's how nasty the English were. They were disgusting people.
Hold on, let me try to get this straight. Before they got married, or
no,
before
they go through the ceremony, and then they have to leave the ceremony and go spend the night with the English lord. Then the next morning they can come back after banging the English lord all night. Then she could come, meaning the Scottish woman, newly married, can come back to her husband. And that was practiced for hundreds of years.
So if I had married my girlfriend under English law,
At that time, Morgan would go have to sleep with the English lord the first night.
After I just married her?
That's why Scottish people began marrying in secret, which is what William Wallace did. English lords, the royalty, found out that he married her in secret, and then they killed the wife because they weren't allowed. They didn't have the opportunity to have the Scottish woman before Wallace did. Does that make sense?
Make sense.
And that spurns a guy. You killed my wife, and it spurned an entire revolution where they won their freedom. That's why I love the movie so much. It's a love story that spurned the birth of an entire nation. That, to me, is super fascinating. I was about to ask you. I love that. I love the storyline, and that's why I like the movie so much. I love the acting, and the fight scenes are incredible. The movie was in 1995. We went way off topic. That's okay though. That's
No,
what the point
it's
of the
fine.
podcast is. 1995, and I still say the battle scenes from a 1995 movie and from the year 2000 in Gladiator. I got the poster right here in my man cave. Those two, the battle scenes in both of those movies.
Which movies? Which movies they can't see?
Oh, it's Gladiator. I did say it. Gladiator and Braveheart. They're outstanding. They're outstanding movies. Braveheart is just such a great storyline. It's a love story built around warfare. It's just amazing. That's why I like the movie so much.
I was going to ask you two questions, but I guess you already answered one, which is, when it comes to movies about history, whether it's American history or history from different countries, would you tie that to an event today? But you answered that already. You said you could tie it to the Israel-Palestine issue. But my other question is, and this actually is because I mentioned the book, would you say that the movie depicted the story accurately, or did they Hollywoodize it to where only like a quarter or half the movie was?
They did a little bit. I'd say 85 to 90% of the movie is by Randall Wallace's book, which is named Braveheart as well. But Gibson did take liberties on a couple things. The main thing is he has him and Sophie Marceau, which is the queen. She's the princess, actually. She's married to Longshanks' daughter, Longshanks' son, and they're married. And he has Mel Gibson and Marceau, which is the Princess of England, hooking up. That was pure Hollywood. That's not a real story at all.
Oh, okay.
But the other stuff about Wallace, he kind of follows the book to a T, which is kind of nice.
Now, probably a dumb question to ask, but did he have access to the book prior to that, or did he just learn about the character?
No. Randall Wallace and Gibson met because Gibson wrote the book, or read the book, and he wanted to find out like how he didn't know about this character named William Wallace, and they met and they developed the whole thing. Gibson directed, produced. It was just an outstanding movie made, and it was a good guess on Gibson's part. He's like, this is a story that everybody should know about. I never knew about it. Like when I went through high school and college, I didn't know who the hell William Wallace was. But the movie came out in '95. It opens up your eyes. That's the point, in my opinion, of like TV, documentaries, movies even. I mean, they're meant to entertain, but at the same time, it's great when they're so informative. When there's so much of a story and information for the audience to digest. So, like, yeah.
Do you think, I guess that actually, and we can spend a few minutes on this regarding, being informative and stuff. So I would agree with that, but then there's that slippery slope of what Hollywood's been trying to do for the last 6 years, which is trying to wokeify film. So do you think that being informative was the gateway to Hollywood being woke and therefore quality of film diving, like going downhill?
I mean that's a real huge topic, and we can cover that in future episodes for sure. That's an interesting topic to talk about. But the ideology of woke post-COVID and just this attempt at transformation of American culture, American society through all of these really broken ideas. Most of them are broken. They just don't simply work. Like socialism, communism, whatever you want to talk about.
They literally try to talk about that, and I didn't even watch this, but they try to talk about the third Ant-Man film, like socialism's not that bad. I'm like, I'm not watching Ant-Man 3 to learn about politics.
Like I said, that's a great topic to do on an entire segment, 25 minutes on just that.
Absolutely.
I don't think that's the main catalyst. The main catalyst is not movie making transforming. I just think there's a major cultural movement that the movies tend to, over the last 6 years, work through to change society for the worse. But I don't think it's the main catalyst. I think the main catalyst is how we get news. You know, the transformation of information from news sources into the culture, which so much of it is false and so much of it is propaganda, so much of it is opinionated, none of it's fact.
So I would have
like start out. That's why I love to start out, you know, all of our information, like with facts, information that are actual facts. Then we can give our opinions on the facts. Opinions.
Yeah.
That's what's happened, to end my little like rant here. That's what's happened over the last 6 years.
It is people's opinions
are not facts.
Right.
Opinions are opinions. Where is your factual foundation to anything? And people and nowadays are like, well, I can have that opinion. Certainly. Where are your facts? Let's talk about information, and then we can talk about your opinion, and you can have that opinion, but be open to the fact that it doesn't match or coincide with factual information. So
I'll leave you on this note. I would have agreed with you.
Close out the segment.
I would have agreed with you about what you said when you say like it's more so the where we get our news from stuff. Which I agree. I would agree with you. I would have agreed with you more 5 years ago. But the reason why I say I don't agree with that fully now is because, let's be real. I don't know if you know this, Fletch, because I know you say you don't do like streaming devices. You do the DVD and stuff. Which, hey, respect. But the reason why I say that is because media is a bigger thing than ever. People constantly binge watch TV shows. They constantly watch movies. This is, I think you and Morgan briefly mentioned, like, who are the people watching that stuff? It's like, you know, watching TV shows. It's primarily, not all the time, not massively different, but it's majority women that are watching that. And what happens is they do develop opinions based on what those shows show them and stuff like that. Right, yeah. So, do I think it has a bigger effect coming from where we get our news from? Sure. I do think that bigger than ever, media, like in the entertainment industry, has had a bigger influence on why people have their opinions.
It's growing.
Why do you think women like shows? And this is not a dig towards women. I'm just saying this is the way it is. And again, I'm going to close on this. Why do you think women like shows like You and Lifetime movies? Those movies are about stalkers and killers.
They're about bad-mouthing dudes.
There's
nothing wrong with stalking. Oh, sorry. Just kidding, ladies. I've never done that. So.
But anyway, we could dive deeper into that another time. But unfortunately,
I got accused of that once. I got invited somewhere, and then it was like,
you got accused?
What are you, stalking me? And I said, you invited me here.
Oh my God! You know what? I'm so glad you brought that up. Okay, this is a good way to like. I had that happen to me.
What are you talking about? That was from a real estate agent. Never forget that.
Back when
called the fucking oops, sorry. Called the police. And I was like, wait a minute. I had to show my phone. I was like, I got invited here. What are you talking about?
No, time, I'll end with this really quick.
That's insanity. Not all women are like that, but a good majority. Sorry, ladies. I'm sorry.
Hey, guess what? When I was in high school, I was I think I was about to be a senior, if I'm not mistaken. It was summertime, and I made it clear, like, I saw someone I knew on Facebook. I'm not gonna say her name, but I just saw someone that I knew from Facebook. People just friended each other. We went to the same school and stuff like that. It's just the way it was. Don't ask me why. It's just the way it was. So I'm like, yeah, I know you from Facebook. If you remember me, I'm Nick, and I'm not going to say my last name on here. Although most people will know.
Who cares?
Look, I'm a private person.
I'm going
okay,
to
I
jail.
don't want people.
We're getting demonetized. Just tell them your whole name.
No.
What's your social security number? Oh, sorry.
Anyway. I had told her, like, what my name was. And, we had, like, a small back and forth for, like, 30 seconds or something, and then that was it. So then there was another time I just so happened to run into her, like, and her friend again. Like, we were just watching. I think this was like a week later. Like, no, I think it was a few weeks later. I said, "Hey, so and so," and eventually her friend asked, like, "What am I? What am I stalking her or something?" I'm like, "I just said hi."
I know.
I'm like, I'm passing by. I'm not like
Today's
following you.
world.
We were literally walking this way. I'm here. They're here. We're walking past her, and I just say, "Hey, so and so," and her friend asked if I was a stalker. I'm like, because I said hello.
It's
People are crazy. People are
It's
crazy.
crazy out there. It is really crazy.
So there's my crazy story.
Next time we come to entertain you, try to inform you, probably scare you, but hopefully you have
Or shock you like I've been shocked this entire time.
Hopefully you had a few laughs. That's the main intent. You enjoyed yourself.
I'm sure I amused
we are
people.
going to watch. We're going to bring back and reinstitute the old American Fan Podcast classic of reviewing a movie, which
Yes.
we're going to see tomorrow. So we're going to go see Nobody 2. And
Yes.
we'll comment on that. That'll be a lot of fun. I can't wait for that.
Oh, I
because
can't wait
love
either.
the first Nobody movie.
It was better than me and Morgan both loved the first one, and we were going to be like, okay, this will be good. Let's watch it before the second one. That's all we were going into. We were like, okay, this looks good. Let's watch it. And by the end, I'm like, oh, this was an awesome movie. Like,
Yeah, no, it was a terrific movie. I really enjoyed the first one. So
Yeah,
that'll be
so-
cool. And we'll probably talk a little politics. We're going to follow up with a story about
yeah, I'm glad we got to
teaser.
take a break from politics this time.
Cracker Barrel. What's going on at Cracker Barrel? If you ask the question, what are they talking about? Do a little due diligence and research that. There's some crazy stuff going on with Cracker Barrel. It made no sense, but we'll talk about a little bit of everything. And I do have a couple more dating stories that I'm sure that you guys will find hilarious. Little teaser, I lasted 23 minutes. I walked in at 5:59 and I left at 6:22.
Wow.
23 minutes is what I actually got up from a date and I walked out. I threw the money on the table and, but I will detail what exactly happened. And there might be another date this coming week, so I might have more fun information to share. We will see. I met a delightful individual. Oh my God. If she's watching, which there's no chance in hell she is, but her name's Hennessy, and she is, she's quite attractive. Yeah, and I don't know why, but I just had my mojo going. And we got the number and text a little bit, but we'll see where that goes. She might have been a little tipsy at the time of exchanging numbers, so maybe she came to her senses and said, this guy's a lunatic. But hopefully not, because she's quite cute. But we'll wrap on that note. Thank you guys for watching. Please, I know we always forget to do this. Pre and post edit, but do the comments, send in any likes if
We
you
always
can.
like your comments.
The comments
I always
are
love
important.
responding to
Yeah.
everybody. Anyone who comments anything on my solo
Nick's
videos.
really good at
And by the way, I
returning
want to
comments.
actually ask you, Fletcher, and actually, what's crazy is one of the things I wanted to do on one of these segments was kind of talk to you a little bit about what you and Morgan talked about, which was like the TV shows and stuff like that. We should definitely do that in the future. Like, you guys got to do that.
Yeah,
we should
we'll
do that too.
another
We don't
one.
really talk about TV shows
Oh
with
yeah,
each other.
we got to.
But,
we'll definitely do that.
By the way, I
on
wanted to
next one.
ask you all guys. Morgan told me this, and I want to know what you guys think. And Fletcher, I want to know what you think. How do you think I've been doing on my solo videos? I've been told that they actually like my format when I do the solo too.
Yeah, your videos. I haven't watched the newest one. I haven't seen the newest one. I got sent
But
some.
you've watched.
Yeah, I got
some of
sent
it?
some screenshots of your newest one from other people that watched it, but I haven't had time to watch it. Today's Friday. I'll watch it tomorrow.
Okay, well, it's no rush. It's just I want to know if you like the idea of me doing that when there's like a little gap. So, guys, people don't have to wait so long for another episode
for
really.
content,
Especially if events just took place. I'm like, hey, I better get on there right away, and especially if it's something that you may not, be an expert in. So, all right, well, that'll be it. So we will see you guys in the next episode. Peace out.